Good day, everyone. It's Kevin Oft, CEO of Action Coach Texas. Today we've got Jamie Crosbie. Jamie's got a very interesting business, ProActivate, and Jamie's going to share with us her lessons learned, best practices, so all of you can stand on her shoulders and build forward. So, Jamie, thank you for pouring into the business community. Please build some runway for us, a little bit about your business.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for having me. And yes, I started my business in January of 2005. So we're on 20 years next year in January. Super excited about that. And we serve the sales and marketing community within all organizations across all industries, really in the area of hiring elite talent. So talent, we're sales and marketing, talent acquisition, specialized in revenue generating roles all the way up to C-level, and have a very, very unique model in doing such. That was really created after my experience serving as VP of sales at Career Builder, and prior to that being in the traditional staffing industry, and just seeing some gaps in the marketplace for leaders of sales and marketing organizations to really be able to protect and propel revenue. So that's what we came in to help with, is proactively protecting revenue and their number one asset, which is talent.
Nice. I love that. Protect revenue. Nice.
Right? Because so many people, they're thinking about their pipeline, right? Of revenue for, new business or just continual business, but often aren't thinking about their pipeline for talent, which is really revenue insurance, so to speak.
It's definitely a powerful perspective that is real, extremely real, actually. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yeah.
So as we look at the growth you've had over the 19 going on 20 years, what do you attribute that growth to, Jamie?
Well, I would say a few things. One is a mindset to succeed. I think that was instilled in me from my mom at a young age, that just, I'm going to win no matter what, that commitment to excellence, that grit. We're going to make it happen. So I would say that's a part of it. The other is that we've really serve in a niche market in a unique way. And because of that, have built a referral business where 83% of our business comes from referrals. And that is super meaningful. And then really, I would attribute it, Kevin, to incredible leaders. That I've got two leaders that are the executives of ProActivate, the CEO and president, that have been with me for over a decade. And that is significant. They have made an amazing contribution and helped propel us forward to growth. And our loyal clients and partners helping to build that referral network, all of those things have been really impactful.
I just want to say before we get into the team part, congratulations on making the step to chairwoman, founder and chairwoman, versus being stuck in the day-to-day of the business like a lot of owners do. They want to be Superman or Superwoman. And that's one of the greatest ways to have an orifice in your business, is be the chief decision maker and problem solver, right?
For everything, right? And then it doesn't run without you.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yes. So Colleen and Rachel got promoted to CEO and president respectively last year, but they've really been running the business for so long, so many aspects of it. So it's really nice to be involved from a strategic direction perspective and let them run with it.
It's amazing. Gotta be a great feeling for you, right?
It really is. It really is. And it's wonderful to have people that you trust implicitly and that have been here for so long, for over a decade.
And well done on entrusting them. And with that, they grew.
Absolutely. They did. And they've made a tremendous impact. I'm so grateful.
Again, well done for letting go of the reins, per se, at that day-to-day level. So as you think about your business, what makes your business unique? Why do folks choose you and your business?
Well, I would say first and foremost, we have a really unique model. And the most unique piece of it is in our industry in general, in traditional recruiting models, which we do not have. There's typically a 15, 20-minute quick interview, clients often feel like resumes are slapped at them. Our model is just very unique. It's in-depth, customized qualification process that's really customized based on our client's ideal candidate profile, which we help them build and do market analysis to build. But we spend an hour and a half, Kevin, to 2 hours going through an in-depth, customized qualification process that's really second to none in the market. One of the key differentiators, most companies are only qualifying on skill set. And that really only accounts for 20% of a candidate's success. And so, or an employee's success within a company. So we have 3 main components where skill set is, of course, a piece of that, but we go in depth in the area of qualification for mindset, because that's what 80% of success is based on, and then simulation evaluations. So I think clients love our model because we guarantee 3 qualified candidates within a few weeks maximum. We obviously speak with a lot more than that to bring them the 3 best of the best, and ultimately the hire. Our ratios are that if there's 1 opening, minimally they're going to hire one of the 3, but if for any reason they don't, we'll provide additional interviews until the hire's made. So they have this dedicated resource of a committed talent manager, a committed result of a hire, and we're specialized. Our niche is sales and marketing, leadership, production, anything in the space of revenue generation, all the way up to C-level, CROs, COOs, CEOs, things like that. The other final unique piece that I would say really separates us is our flat fee structure, which takes away some of the challenge in our industry in the traditional model, where candidates are coached on what to say to get the job, or the best candidates go to the highest paid fees. Those are things that really turn people off from the traditional recruiters. Our talent managers are not paid on placement. They are paid to provide each search with 3 qualified candidates that match the profile and ultimately the hire. And, we guarantee that, and it's a flat fee. So it eliminates some of those challenges that come with the inherent old school model.
Well done. So there's far less risk, there's predictability. They're going to get a placement. They know
Exactly.
what their investment is to get that placement.
Yes, exactly. And it's a flat fee. It's not based on compensation. So no one's getting a benefit of trying to get you to pay more, right? It's just a flat fee. It's much more reasonable than a traditional recruiting fee as well. So.
And the big thing, I'm just going to make it very clear for those who are listening, and the fact that you actually have got, the skill set piece, which is what a lot of folks go for.
Right.
20% of about a 20% of the prediction of whether or not they'll be successful or not. Well done, because it's the mindset, the simulation, all that. We do skills and will testing. Will testing gets in the mindset, gets into the capabilities. They actually have to perform. And that's, all I'm saying is well done, because that is so key. So, folks who are listening, if you don't have that, that's a great reason to call Jamie's team at ProActivate.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, because that is just near and dear to my heart. I just, and I do speaking for sales organizations, sales and marketing organizations, kickoffs, leadership groups in the area of that performance mindset shift, because that is the key, right? That is what drives so much success. And when we can, and companies, this, we spend so much time developing the skill sets of our team members and qualifying talent based on skill set, but not so much focused on mindset. And that pours into our people professionally and personally, and allows them to perform at a rate of 38% more when they can make that mindset performance shift.
Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, because, again, for those who are listening, think about what it costs to mishire.
Yeah.
What's the cost of a mishire? And let's just take a second on that. What are your guidelines on the cost of a mishire?
Well, there's, right, I would say that in general, obviously there's the training time and the compensation and the leadership time and all of the things. In general, it is upward to $100,000, but the opportunity cost is so much greater, because then you think about, if that quote is $1 million and you now have a gap there for several months because you didn't have the right person, and now you're having to hire someone else and train someone else, it is upward to, in terms of opportunity cost, to $1 million.
Many times it's multiple of the person's annual comp.
Yeah.
When it comes to these type of positions, so I got to clarify that comment. When it comes to these type of positions, the revenue producing positions, whether it be sales, whether it be management, whatever it might be, many times the cost of a mishire, when you look at total cost, opportunity, brand reputation, if they're at management level, you bring in the wrong person that actually can mess with your team that they were managing or leading. Yeah, it's multiples of their annual compliment. So,
Well,
yeah.
and you make a good point, Kevin, because there's also a huge impact on the entire team, because a poor performer lowers the entire morale of the team and the expectation. And if you hold on to a poor performer too long, which sometimes we do when we mishire because we feel like, well, we'd rather have a person than not have a person at all, it shows and illustrates that we're accepting mediocrity. And so the overall performance lowers, and there's a 78% variance between a top performer and a poor performer.
Great point. The last thing I'll say, hey, for those who are listening, understand some of the toughest people to recruit are salespeople.
100%. By the way, that's one reason we created this model to focus in this area. And by the way, why a 15 to 20, 30-minute phone screen does not work, because salespeople are selling themselves in the interview process. It's like a first date, right? I mean, you've got to dig under the surface.
Yes. So just letting you know, look, if you've had problems hiring salespeople and they come in, they sell themselves, but they don't perform, that's classic. I'll share with you, what Jamie and her team have developed here. That's what you need to smoke out whether or not they'll be a great sales performer, achiever consistently for you. So there you go. This is a hot button for me because I've seen so many business owners fall. I just met with one yesterday, and he was looking for outside capital because of the fact that he was just trying, how does he get this going? And salespeople aren't working and outside marketing agencies aren't working. It's like, yeah, I understand that. How about if we do this a different way? So
absolutely.
All right. So
hot button.
well, it's an important one. A lot of owners struggle with that one. So
well, yeah, it's the lifeblood of a company.
It is. It is. Yeah. If you had to start your business from square one, go back to 2005, what would you do differently with 19 years of reflection behind you?
Oh my gosh, I still remember January 5th, 2005, that day, what I was doing that entire day. I will never forget that day. What would I do differently? I would say, and we talked earlier a little bit about the fact that I have these two amazing leaders that I just promoted to CEO and president. And I would say, I wish I would have learned to let others rise up sooner and lead alongside me. I did want more control of everything for a long time. And we all know this, but inherently it's just hard to fight against that desire to do it all and really to let go a little bit. I trust these two leaders implicitly, literally with my life and not just my business. They're incredibly trustworthy, and still yet it's hard to let go. So I wish I would have let go more sooner, because they're the brightest and the best. And they really do propel us forward. For so long, so much of it was all dependent on me. And now I'm able to serve clients in other ways by, speaking and developing, with keynotes and workshops and things like that. So that's one thing I would definitely have done differently or sooner. Oh, you know what? One other thing I was thinking is, I think it took initially, when you start a business, you're just trying to turn the lights on in the market, so to speak. So I remember in the beginning, some business that I should have just said no to. And I think we all struggle with that, like stay in your lane, right? We are highly niched in sales and marketing, sales operations, anything supporting revenue generation. And so I think really knowing that, what you say no to so that your yes can be bigger is really of value as well.
And so you have the bandwidth to go serve the A grade clients, A and B grade clients.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
And just something for everyone to understand, again, as a business owner, be careful where you take money from, who you take it from. Because once you take money from a customer or client, you have an obligation to them.
You do. You have an obligation to serve them. And that's part of our mission, right? We want to make an impact in our clients' businesses and the talent that we're sourcing. I mean, we're also always looking for working and winning talent. That is the differentiator as well. We're finding people who are doing well, where this would be a next step or an upgrade to their career. And that is our commitment too. Our mission from that perspective is to really upgrade their lives. If we're going to call them and propose that they consider a career change.
Well said. And taking on with that, what have been your biggest learnings as an employer?
I would say we've always been a value player in the market, and initially, I don't believe that what we required clients to invest for our services was necessarily equitable with our value. So we should have charged more from the start. And I would say it's funny. I've been a part of a group called Women Sales Pros, and I'm on the board now, and it's Women Sales Experts here in the future. But one time we were all brainstorming together. We all own businesses in the area of sales, in some area of sales. And I remember a very wise woman coaching these owners saying, you sometimes don't know what you're worth. Your pricing should be scary plus 20%, which I thought was funny. And ours isn't. I mean, we really are a value player. Our model is such that it allows us to be a lot more equitable than the traditional model of recruiting. However, initially still, we had so much more room in the market to make our value equal to the investment, I would say. And then, one other thing I think has really been tremendously impactful in terms of learning is just surrounding yourself with people smarter than you and letting them lead, like not being afraid. You got to know what you're not good at, right? And then find others that are better at those things and surround yourself with them. And when you can have your business run without you, or you can be gone for 2 weeks, then you're really leading. If you have to do it all and be there all the time, you're really not creating an environment where you're fostering others, and you're really not leading.
Guiding your team members to grow is a multiplier.
It is. It's exponential.
Very well said. And it's so key for all of you listening. Think about how you can do that. And if you need guidance, there's folks who can guide you in that. Just heads up. We're one of them. There's others as well. Put it out there. All right. So as you look at the life of a business owner, nearly 2 decades now, how do you balance personal life with the demands of the business over this continuum, 20-year continuum almost?
Right. I'm kind of laughing. Something that just came to my mind, because I was asked this question once in an interview, like, how do you balance? And you're a mom. I'm a single mom. I have been since my kids were 6 weeks old and 17 months old. Now they're 17 and 15. But someone asked me that question, and it was funny because it was during COVID when we were all working from home, and I was being interviewed and it was live. And I said, I am literally sitting in the bathroom with the door shut, hiding so we can do this interview right now. So it is a challenge. But I will say I have always been very intentional. My motto is live fully on purpose with greater purpose. And so the intentionality of really prioritizing what's important to me has allowed me to balance it. It has been a challenge. And there are times where I've questioned, am I balancing it all right? Because the most important thing for me, and truly my greatest achievement in life, has been being a mom and having tremendous friendships. And I will tell you, I've prioritized those things. I set my schedule around those things being highly important, as well as running a business, being a business owner, being a professional. And all of those things deserve the intentionality of balance and how you're going to spend your time. So, I mean, tactically, I block things, on my calendar that way to ensure that I'm available for both.
And that's key. That's part of prioritizing. And that's
Right.
sacred time, kids and friends, sacred time. The business has got to wrap around it, not just.
Yeah. And if you don't take care of those things, ultimately you're not as effective. So I would say, then it makes you more effective in the time you are spending on your business.
Effective in so many ways in terms of clear thinking, state of mind, mood, on and on.
Exactly. So, I mean, I talked about friends and kids, but health, working out, all those things I'm intentional about so that I overall have a purposeful life and not just have success in business.
Well done.
Thank
One
you.
of the principles a mentor of mine taught me a decade or more ago, he said, Kevin, think about harmony versus balance. Harmony is where it all flows together.
That's a better word, because when you think of balance, it's never perfectly balanced.
Correct.
And that's okay. It's just overall, I love that, the harmony. I'm gonna use that. That's gonna be part of my answer in the future.
So I'll give credit to Keith J. Cunningham for that one. So
Okay, thanks,
all right.
Keith.
Yeah, he's at Austin. Good man. Phenomenal, man. So curious, what qualities do you look for in employees? We talked about that a few minutes ago. As you add staff and whether it be management team, direct staff, what qualities do you look for within your own organization as you build?
Well, so when you think about the qualities that really set apart the best athletes, the best business people, but just the best of the best in any area, it really is mindset, and they're all characteristics of mindset. So for me, it's commitment to excellence, perseverance, grit. And these aren't just good words. These are literally areas that we deeply qualify talent for internally or externally. So, I mean, I want to know really how, like, I'll talk about how they balance their lives or how they handle tremendous challenges in their life. What has been their greatest challenge and how did they walk through that? How they take feedback. Do they have a growth mindset? Because when you do simulations, you can also tell a lot about people. You can see if they have a growth mindset, if they ask for feedback, if they want to try again, if they're defensive, whatever it is. So of course, they have to have certain skills. If you think about the best athletes, they have certain skills, but really the best of the best, it's like determination, and they're practicing, and it's their character. And so those are the things for me. It's the will versus the skill that are most important.
Amen to that. Because the will they have or they don't. Skill
Right.
train in.
Exactly.
And the key piece that you bring to businesses is how to test for the will side.
Exactly. It's to qualify for that piece is much more in depth.
And there's a fair bit of art to it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a science. It's definitely much more of an art.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've got a growth, a mindset assessment we have them take, and it's growth versus fixed mindset, and it's amazing. And it's so important to understand that.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. I love that you get that.
That's part of so. For us, we guide owners on, you got to understand who you're going to bring in and what they're going to be like when times get tough, when stress shows up, and the interview process, do the assessments, how to use assessments, how to be able to put disc into a, understand preferred disc, and then choose the words that attract that particular disc profile in the job posting.
Right.
All those pieces. So, yeah. So last question, what are some of the common misconceptions of being a business owner? What have you seen?
Well, I think sometimes people think it's easier than working for another company or for someone else. They think, oh, you're your own boss. This is just, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And yes, I mean, there are absolute benefits. of that, and you can create your own success. And there are pieces that, helping to pour into other people that are really meaningful at creating the culture you want. And not but, because but's a verbal eraser, and it also comes with this tremendous pressure. And I think people don't necessarily realize that. Like for me, I feel like I have 20 people's families in my hands. I'm responsible for my team members and their families and our clients that we serve and doing what we say we're going to do. And there is a pressure that comes with that that's different and sometimes greater than the pressure of working for someone else. There are ups and downs in the marketplace. There are things like COVID that are out of our control that we have to navigate in a different way when we own the business.
As President Harry S. Truman said, the buck stops here. It stops at
Right.
the center. So.
It does indeed. Yes. But it's also just one of the greatest joys in terms of a responsibility to carry. I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity. And as I said, just even, being a single mom and having a business and being able to really create the life balance that you want, even though it's, a different type of pressure, it's been so neat to be able to really have that opportunity.
It's very rewarding and fulfilling watching a team member grow, watching them go up the career ladder per se, as the company grows and expands and there's opportunities. So yeah, to meet the family and go ahead, please. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying that is, I will say, one of the most meaningful things. I mean, there are a couple people on my team that I know, at least a couple people that I know would tell you that I saw something in them that they didn't necessarily even know they had in themselves. And I don't say that lightly or, and I say it with great humility, but that they then had an opportunity to really rise to the occasion and grow in a way that they didn't even know was possible, which is just awesome.
It's well done, Jamie. Again, making a difference out there. Two things. One is if folks want to check out your company, where do they go to get more information?
So ProActivate.net. So ProActivate.net or LinkedIn. We have a ProActivate page on LinkedIn. Absolutely as well. Feel free to call 214-720-9922.
Excellent. Any final words for the business owners who are learning from you today?
Gosh, I would just say, stay committed to excellence. And as long as you're serving your clients well, things will continue to grow and you will experience great success.
Amen to that. So, Jamie, thank you very much for pouring into the business community.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for having me. It was truly a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you.